Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with our main topic today. We're discussing today the Decent Life Initiative, which is an presidential initiative that was launched by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in order to raise the standards of living of 60 million Egyptians. And it started with the Upper Egypt, and it is now going on since 3 years ago. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us our dear guest, Dr. Amany Shennawy, a chemical engineer, graduate of the Strategic Studies and National Security Training course, and also member of the Civil Society and International Service Organization. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I really had the pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you
so much. Well, Dr. Shennawy, the Decent Life Initiative is one of the mega projects that is taking place since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to office, and it is his initiative and one of the very important initiatives because it's touching the Egyptian citizen and the Egyptian family and the women, and gathering a number of organizations and non-governmental organizations and ministries in Egypt. Let's start from the very beginning. When did the idea start at the beginning?
The Decent Life Initiative is a brilliant initiative because it's an initiative that concerns our strategy, the country's strategy, the development. It's always a win-win situation for citizens and development of the country, that you have people who have, we call it KSA, knowledge, skills, and attitude. If you have your citizens having those skills, and at the meantime they are satisfied with their life and living a decent life, you'll have a developed country, a big developed country with more production and more economy development everywhere. Yes. So the initiative started at the year 2019. After that, it went through 3 phases with the most needy villages. Yes. First. The needy villages were raised from the standards they were in, to villages having water connections, having jobs, because people were trained to have jobs at their places, having better health, with the disease prevention projects, having better women empowerment. So the needy villages were developed. After that, we went through the less needy villages, and so on until we covered the initiative. And this is a mega project that is giving us great results. Yes.
Dr. Shennawy, since the Decent Life Initiative have started, it started, as you've just mentioned, with the needy places or villages. It started with the Upper Egypt villages and governorates. Upper Egypt, that was in previous years completely neglected, but since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to office, there is exerted efforts in order to give attention and take very good care of Upper Egypt. So the Decent Life Initiative mainly started in 2019 with the Upper Egypt governorates. What's your comment on this?
Upper Egypt is where our history is, where the ancient Egyptians, the pharaohs, used to live. During the previous years, it was we had a central everything was centralized in Cairo and Alexandria. Now we're expanding. We're having cities at Amany. We're expanding towards Sinai and all the way through. As for the south, which is our origin, the initiative took care of the villages which were really neglected, and they are brilliant people who really deserve to have better life. As the initiative studied where the needy villages are, they were really in most of them in Upper Egypt, in Beni Suef, as we saw President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi last week
Yes.
there. In Fayoum, there are neglected villages. The studies were made carefully, and the villages were helped through community assessments and through studied projects and studied culture.
Yes.
Because each village can be better in certain areas where the people have interest in, where they have the resources to produce certain projects or to work in industry.
Yes. So, Dr. Shennawy, also I would like to ask you about the kind of help or services that the Decent Life have offered to mainly the Upper Egypt Governorate when it started in the very beginning. You've mentioned some examples like water connections, and what else could you say concerning this?
Areas of focus where Decent Life works is the same as the areas of focus of the NGO we're a member of. It's about having better health for people. If they are healthy, they will work better, they will be able to learn, to be educated. Having women empowerment is very important, because if you look at the demography of Egypt, our Egyptian indicator today says that we are 105 million citizens plus 9 million guests who came from countries with unrestlessness. So we're having a huge human being, a huge citizen numbers. Those are our resources.
Yes.
So if they are productive, this will make life better. So as for the women, they are half our community. It's very important to have women empowerment and projects for women to work. It's very important to have clean water, because if you don't have clean water, you won't have people. You will have people sick, and you won't have hygiene in a proper way.
Yes.
So it's very important to have economic development projects for people. You make them learn how to know to have community assessments, to do their projects on right basics.
Yes. So concerning the women empowerment, of course, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi was very keen on women empowerment since he came to office, and he allocated a special year for women. So as the Decent Life Initiative was going through or covering the Upper Egypt governorates, it was very keen to also provide women with work. And actually, we saw that some women from Upper Egypt were volunteering, and the girls there. So give us an idea about this good picture.
Volunteers always have the pleasure to give to their community. You always have the pleasure that you are giving back to your community. You have a community responsibility, a social responsibility towards your neighbors, towards your people. So people there, sure, they help the villages. They help as advisors, even advisors for women there. Women in the villages need advisors, need some awareness. So they work with people there, raising up the standards of women education, women jobs, as entrepreneurs, when they have their own projects. All this will give back to the community and the development of the community, and hence we have more production, better life for everyone, and decent life.
Yes, yes. So concerning also the Decent Life Initiative also covers fields like health, right, like education. So let's start with the health.
As for the health, we always had people sick because of the awareness. We always say that awareness is better than curement. We say it in Arabic,
Yes.
الوقاية خير من
Yes.
العلاج. So there are a lot of awareness sessions that are going on, especially for breast cancer, for diseases that are transferred from one citizen to another. Also, we have curing, and we have X-rays and screening for everyone. We have the social medical care is taking care of people. That's why everyone in the villages is having their IDs ready. Everything is related.
Yes.
People-
So you mean, Doctor, that the initiatives that was launched by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, like for example 100 million health or 100 days health, or also the early detection for Egyptian women for the breast cancer or other diseases, was also going through with coordination with the Decent Life Initiative in the governorates, which the Decent Life covers.
Yes, this is true. Awareness is always cheaper and better for people. If, for example, someone is infected by cancer, this takes a lot of money to cure one person. If they had the awareness and they did the detections, early detections, and all those screenings, this will be better economically and health-wise for the person. A person with good health will produce more.
Yes.
So you always look at the development from all the sides.
Yes.
You always need the citizens to be healthy, productive, and aware of their health.
Yes. So, Doctor, concerning the field of education, which is very important, of course, not only for the Decent Life Initiative, but for all Egypt. So, give us an idea about the Decent Life Initiative in the field of education.
Education starts from the basic education for kids, and we can see now nurseries with kids having fun, studying through the fun because they're very young and energetic, and this. After that, they go through the primary schools, and we always help them to go. We always help them as NGOs to have fun going and have acceptable tools.
So there are groups from the non-governmental organizations or yes, the group that you have joined as a member to give some classes, you mean, to the kids?
We're not all teachers. I wish we can do that and help in teaching, but we help in making kids like the school. Yes. You can give them a nice uniform to wear. You can give them some presents as school bags, school tools. This makes them happy going to school, having their coloring pencils, and they are young, and this way they like studying. Yeah. So we always take care of this part, how they feel, how they'll be happy studying, not going for a punishment or going not happy, or seeing some people have bags and they don't have their own. So we're trying to cover as much as we can, and in this area.
Yes, concerning the youth and the cooperation that or the volunteering from the Egyptian youth who are helping or involving in the Decent Life Initiative.
The volunteers are having a great part. They help in the community assessment of the villages. They help in executing the projects. Last week we had a project. We're having a joint project with the youth of Tahya Masr, or the
Long
youth
Live
of
Egypt.
Long Live Egypt.
Yes.
Yes. They are handling a big project of educating the youth how to apply for jobs, how to have better qualifications for having a job. So this is a big project, and we are joining them. They are managing everything, so they are really doing a great effort in this.
Yes. Doctor, also concerning the budget that is provided for the Decent Life Initiative, 1 trillion Egyptian pounds. So give us an idea about the budget, how it is distributed, what is the priorities?
As we said, the needy villages are studied, and where development is needed more, we go through our strategic plan. We, as a country, we are having a strategic plan. We all know that we're talking about 2030. This is coming soon. So everything was planned. I remember in the year 2017, I had a meeting. I was invited to a meeting at the Planning and Follow-up Ministry.
Yes.
All this was planned. Where are we going to make the water corrections? Where are we going to make the agriculture? Where is the production needed? All this was a primary brainstorming. So we're going through our strategic plan. The plan is measured each period.
Yes.
So we see if we're progressing, or we need to make better follow-ups and better give better help in the aspect.
Yes.
And through this plan, the money is distributed to the most needy, and then
Yes.
so on.
Yes.
For development.
Now the Decent Life is covering all the governorates. So is it also covering the capital? I mean, in Cairo?
The capital has a lot of development that has been made, a lot of expansions. The plan is going through the needy, the more needy,
yes,
and the less. Of course, in the capital,
but
there
of course, the state and President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi exerted a large effort in order to move the people living in rural areas and slum areas, I mean,
yes,
to the, for example, the Asmarat.
yes,
yes.
I went to Asmarat.
Yes,
it is very impressive.
This is a kind of course, applying a decent
yes,
life, of course.
Yes, it's very impressive. Very nice buildings. They are really big buildings, and very clean. Everyone has water, has his needs. The jobs there are getting better. The life itself helps people to work and join the progress,
yes,
happening in our country.
Yes. Unfortunately, our time is up. I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Amany Shennawy, chemical engineer, graduate of Strategic Studies, National Security Training course, member of Civil Society and International Service Organization. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I really had the pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Cairo Local Time. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.